and welcome back to the final map. Soren, you know what? I needed a fire mage to tackle those Lagoos. Even Ileana wasn't that effective. I just kind of hoped she would get a critical. Then, actually, she did get a critical. I forgot about that. Quite amazing. Too bad my reactions are all gone. Especially coming up for something soon. Because I'm gonna have Oscar attempt something. So here everything looks fine. I'm like, you know, oh man, Oscar, he'll just weaken him and he'll lose some. But what happens here? The Lagoos gets a critical. 4 HP left. Do you know how scary that was to have it happen? I mean, if he had gotten a second move on me, Oscar would have been dead. Everything would have been screwed up. Of course, I would have had to restart, actually, and I guess I would have had commentary for it. Well, that's one thing I'll explain, I guess, quickly, is, yeah, you know, I don't mind people seeing me do poorly in these games, you know, that's all part of doing Let's Plays, I guess. So, you know, you'll see sometimes I screw up. However, with Fire Emblem, the problem is that if you lose someone, you absolutely cannot get them back. I mean, they are basically dead for the rest of the game. And I like to keep everyone. So when I did lose people sometimes, and when I did, there was no way to continue from where I left off. I had to redo the map again. And normally, I wouldn't mind showing that type of thing. But for Fire Emblem, if I lost someone, for example, at the extreme end of a map, that's it. I couldn't return to that point. I'd have to redo the map again. I had in one level, it was actually the commentary less one I had. The last one, where I first got my mic and kept it off. In that level, one of the first times I was playing that one, I was near the end, and I had Rise standing there. I'm like, you know, boss isn't moving up, so he's pretty safe, you know. Next thing I know, the boss moves up. Well, first some enemies move up to him, weaken him, and then the boss moved up and killed Rise. How am I supposed to recover from that? And it was on like one of the last turns. I mean, the boss was going to be my next target for it. And I didn't want to lose Rise, so it was a matter of what was I supposed to do? Should I have just left him dead? Should I have shown the entire recording for some reason, or just shown up that part? Or should I just just delete the recording and start over again? See, that's the thing with Fire Emblem. If you screw up and want to redo something, you have to redo the map over again, and that to me was just a waste of time for uploading. I only wanted to up the map once. The only real special thing I did was essentially when I didn't defeat the Black Knight. I wanted to defeat him, so I redid the map off screen. But the only reason that worked was because the Black Knight portion was part of a kind of different map. So, you know, I just got there after defeating the map again. While on an actual map, you know, not all the moves are going to be the same, so it doesn't really work to just show you a different map completely that I'm doing. You know, I mean, whatever. It's just my way of thinking. To me, it just felt like a waste of time to do all that editing for nothing, and to upload a part where I completely failed miserably. Truthfully, the rest of this is me merely going up. And I kind of looked ahead already at the footage, and the battling portion really only goes up to 24 minutes. But the rest of this video is, you know, this entire portion of this video is a good hour long, which means the rest of it after 24 minutes is the ending. And I mean, even after I did eventually turn on my mic and I started recording some actual commentary directly after I completed the map. And let me tell you, I didn't talk during most of it. One reason being because um, I was kind of out of it because I didn't know if I had lost all my recording, but because I didn't know what to say. There's just so much dialogue, and I couldn't fast forward it. It had to go at the pace of the game. And it wasn't even really good dialogue. It was just banter. Kind of just general banter. What am I supposed to say over it? You know? Only parts of it were interesting, really. So there wasn't much I can do. I just kind of stayed silent for most of that portion. Then I kind of ended it early because I was getting stressed out of if I had a recording or not, and it turns out I didn't. Oh well. I'm improving now. At this point, you should already know I'm recording Super Mario World. I was going to record Super Mario World regardless. It's just that this part got delayed for Fire Emblem, and so Super Mario World came before it. Because, I mean, I just wanted to kind of get away from it, and then finally get to record this. Because I still got at least a good, a bit less than 20 minutes left for the battle itself. And the reason why I'm not really talking about it is because I can tell you from here on out, the only way this would have been interesting is with live commentary. Right now I'm just moving up, essentially. Moving Ike up to get to Ashnard. Kind of forgot his name for a sec. I really do wish I had things to say right now. I don't like leaving an empty gameplay footage like this, especially when it's the final map. I know I've said this so many times, but unfortunately at this point, nothing noteworthy really comes to mind of what happened. It's all merely battling, moving up. I decide to kill everything in my path. Other than that, especially since I'm only using Ike, there's really nothing of noteworthy happening. So I'm almost tempted to just kind of stay silent until I hit Ashnard. Because right now I feel like I'm just babbling on. And because it's so boring to record commentary like this, I've been doing it over the course of like 2 weeks almost. Because this was recorded like 2 weeks ago. It's just, I had very little will to actually finish everything off. Though I'm getting very close to the end of the battling. I might have a bit more to say once we hit the ending portion, kind of. Actually, I will be silent for some of it because a lot of it's like, again, it's just a lot of talking. So here, I finally reach Ashnard. Around here, there's only about 6 minutes left of battle. Ashnard is very tough, I can tell you that much. He's a bit easier in this mode because, as I said, he does not move up. So you're under no stress to get to him. However, in hard mode, as I said, he gets bored and moves up to you before you can clear any of the enemies around you. And some of the enemies start a lot closer to you. So, I mean, you're trying to keep everyone safe, and then Ashnard just rushes down at you. And he is strong. Don't get me wrong, he is strong. But when he stays in the same place, you got time to think about how to kill him. That's what makes it easier. But when he just rushes you and you don't know what to do, it makes it a lot more difficult than it should be. Doesn't help that really only 2 to 3 people can actually do any sort of damage against him. Ike, one of the King Lagoos, and even Nasir. If you don't have Nasir or Tibarn, then it's going to take a bit of time. And he's got his own little bit of battle music, making it sound like it's like an epic final battle type thing. Of course, he doesn't even seem to care. He seems to want to be beaten by Ike. Of course, I gave Ike that thing to run away, which is kind of helpful. At this point, I start to bring Mist up so that she can do some recoveries on him, just in case, you know. But I mean, since he runs away, it's not like he's in too much danger. I mean, unfortunately, trying to get Nasir up is difficult because he has a very short range, and he's not a dragon anyways right now. So I don't think I ever get him up there in time. It's basically going to be Ike and Tibarn doing all the work. I believe I've cleared the map though at this point, so it's really only him that's left. Oh yeah, Nasir did turn back into a dragon. But as you can see, it takes forever for him to get up there. Mist is faster because of her horse. Now it's just a matter of trying to get him down. I mean, he doesn't recover that much, and I don't think I can actually pull Aether on him. I mean, that might not be true, let me know. And his weapon is Gargantuan. There he missed, so I figured I could stay close by. Apparently does 25 on Tibarn, and Tibarn does 12 on him. But as far as I know, I cannot get Aether on him. I never saw it at all when I was doing this. Yeah, Tibarn wants to kill him. See, it was pretty difficult to do with Ike because he would recover after like every turn. But with Tibarn there, it kind of helps. Now I was trying to think, it would be funny if I could somehow get Alencia to talk to him without him battling Alencia, but as far as I know, that's impossible. I notice here how he keeps going after Barn even though Ike was in range. And he took a hit. Barn took a hit. A really bad hit too for a king. I wanted to see how much, yeah, it would kill her in one shot. I was thinking it would have been bad if I accidentally hit yes and, well, lost Valencia. Would have ruined the entire map. And this is it. This is where we kill Ashnard. He seems pleased as though he wanted to die to begin with. And he has the slowest death of all the enemies. Now this is where normal mode ends. However, if you beat Ashnard on hard mode, he takes the medallion and uses it to become Berserk Ashnard. Now, I did get far in hard mode. I got to this map, actually, and I struggled against Ashnard to begin with. But I didn't know of Berserk Ashnard, and so I was not prepared and did not know how to beat him. I got this far, I could not beat him at all. I tried and failed over and over again. In fact, before I started this game, I had my old save, which I cleared, because I figured, you know what, no point in showing that I had a save. I clear all my old saves when I'm doing these things. Oh, by the way, we're getting some story now. That thing that he was riding, Rage on, Ina's mate. Actually, I'm glad that some of this got cut out. I was being kind of stupid here. I was saying it was like the first field dragon we saw, but forgetting that I battled a whole bunch, so... Yeah, I was being kind of stupid here. But the game's over, and now there's going to be a lot of talking, which I might not even record anything over, because a lot of it's going to be small talk. Now you see, it happened again over here where my memory card didn't want to save. Um, there's a reason why I want to keep my save for the next game, which I'll tell you later. My fix is basically just remove it, put it back in, and hope that it returns, which it usually does. I remember I used to use one of the larger memory cards for this game, and for some reason it would always have a problem of deleting some of the saves for some reason. I stopped using it on Path of Radiance because of that. Now at this point, they're just going to talk to everyone who was ever in your team, I believe. So I don't know how much there is to say over here. I didn't really talk much anyways during it because it's like, there's so much to read. It does it in groups of different types of people. Like here, it's everyone who's from Crimea or the Crimean Knights, basically. There are also, you know, the Lagoos, I guess, well, oddball people like Soth from Dayan. You know, here we have, oh yeah, the Benyon people here. I didn't really use them that much. I only used Tanith like once. I mean, you can't use everyone. Like I said, that's the biggest fault with having so many characters in such few maps, is that you really can't use anyone. Well, no, I'll rephrase that. You can't use everyone. Especially when you've been using the same people from the beginning, it's really hard to switch them out because you're so used to them. You know what? There were actually a lot of people from Dayan, and oh yeah, Z-Hark's not from Dayan, but he wants to just go there. That's I guess, you know, to see different lands. Now, this portion of the ending just annoys me. The reason is, you'll notice that the text is going much slower than the text in the other portions of the game. The reason being is that it basically scrolls on its own. You cannot make it load any faster. And let me tell you something. There's not much to say here. The conversations are really, really boring. The only interesting portion is the end with, well, you'll see Sephiran comes in soon. That's the only interesting portion. I mean, I kind of understand what they were going for, you know, that they just wanted to have some, you know, dialogue pieces. But I mean, I don't know. It just, for some reason, to me, I have no interest in it. When I was reading it, I was just thinking, this is taking too long. I wish this was over. I know they're trying to make a setup, but it takes forever to hit the reward, if you want to say. And here we learn that Senaki is the descendant of one of the only ones who can sing that, in a sense, song. Considering that we have not seen her in a long time, this whole portion, if you were playing it back then, left a lot of unanswered questions. Basically, the descendant of Altina, the only ones who can, I guess, awaken the Dark God. And now, this is our reward for sitting through all that dialogue. We basically learned that everything is not finished, contrary to what Ike and crew believe. What does that mean? Well, there's a sequel to the game. Radiant Dawn on the Wii. And here we get another cutscene with dialogue. Voices aren't too great. It's mainly Ike's, and you know what? Even Alicia's voice isn't that great. Kind of feels like they took whoever was in like the office and told them to read lines. But I guess, you know, they probably translated this game with a very specific budget, and they kind of were didn't really care about the voice acting.
I don't think I'm ever really going to be ready.
What's the matter with you?
Ike, stop it. How can I...
Did anyone teach you how to hire mercenaries?
No, but that's not the same.
How to win back lost allies? How to win back your lost kingdom?
That's different.
No, it's not. You've done such an amazing job, and I think you always will.
I see.
All right. Come on. We'll do this together.
Thank you, my Lord Ike. I am so blessed to have met you.
And so it was that in the spring of the year 646, Alincia Rydell Crimea saw peace return to her homeland. In the years to follow, the story of Queen Alincia and her noble hero Ike spread across the land and inspired the songs of many a wandering troubadour.
And there it is. We have now finished Fire Emblem Path of Radiance. I'd like to thank everyone who watched it. I'd like to apologize for the slowness of all the uploads. I'd like to apologize for the fact that I did not have my original commentary. I apologize for the bad quality commentaries, the bad quality videos I may have had. This video series was kind of a learning experience for me. This is where I ironed out some of my faults, and so the quality of the first dozen or so videos isn't as good as the latter half. And now you might be asking, hey, Ted, what about the sequel? Radiant Dawn. Are you ever going to get to that? Yes, I will. Just not now. Why? Well, because I've done some tests with recording the Wii. And because I am using composite cables as opposed to S-video or component cables, the quality is terrible. I would not upload it at that quality. So I'm going to have to wait till I can record using S-video, which I don't want to do, or using component cables, which is my preference. However, currently, I do not have the means to do so. You'll have to wait a little bit. Originally, I didn't actually talk during the credits. Well, I'm going to actually stop for a little bit. Because there's not much else I have to say yet. But I do plan on doing another game soon. I had just finished Mario World recently, and yeah, you know, just to kind of get away from this for a little bit. And I'm going to go back to the NES. I haven't done a NES game in a while. You'll see it when I upload it. So for now, just enjoy the rest of the credits. And there's actually something else afterwards I'll show you and explain something about the save. I'll meet you at that point. And here it is, records. I actually forgot that this existed at the end. What you'll notice is my early stuff when I wasn't using battle animations was shorter, but once I started using battle animations, most of the maps took roughly an hour to complete, give or take a few minutes, plus with the story in between, so you know, it was variable. But I'm more interested in the next portion of the records. And here we have the unit records. Basically, how many kills people had, well, wins people had, their levels and all that good stuff. But you'll notice I did not use most people. Most people have 0 wins at all. It'll probably also show losses, but I didn't lose anyone. Now it's going to show the top 5. Before we get to that, the save. The save can be transferred to the next game. I don't know what it transfers, I've never done it before, but when I get to Radiant Dawn, I will transfer my save data, so we'll see what that does. Fifth place, Soren with 75. Kiran, 4th with 81. Titania, 3rd with 85. Oscar, 2nd with 102. And, of course, Ike, 1st with 134 wins. And that concludes Fire Emblem. I'll see you, well, whenever I record something new. Thanks.